Yeah, good morning, everybody. Today is the 23rd of June, 2026. My name is Ayotunde Richard. I had the news yesterday that Omoyele Sowore, the presidential aspirant for, I think, African Democratic Congress, if I got it right, was remanded yesterday, his bail revoked. You know, I have been through the Nigerian legal system. I'm currently going through the Nigerian legal system. And I've seen quite a few emotional and sentimental posts on social media. So, based on my little experience, I thought, okay, let me add one or two. Law is not emotional. Law is not emotional. Law deals with facts. Law deals with logic. And a lot of people base their judgments on their likeness for persons and their emotional attachments to personalities. But the law doesn't work like that. There is equality before the law. Well, I'm not a lawyer, but I'm a defendant standing trial in about three cases presently. But at some point, I was standing trial in four. Yes, yes. So I think I have the moral right and the moral standing and the legal standing to be able to comment on Omoyele Showore's bail revocation. So, as I was saying, the law is not an emotional being. The law deals with facts. The law deals with logic, and in fact, a lot of times when you are going to the court as a participant in the litigation, you have no idea what will happen that day. Yes, you have no idea. So usually your your emotional gauge is up there. Lawyers can tell you. You don't know how the judge, yes, predictably, to an extent, you you can determine to an extent, okay, by the time we do this, by the time, based on experience and based on past happenings, by the time we do this, by the time we do that, this should be the outcome. But you don't know what your opposition has also been armed with. So to a large extent, the level of unpredictability is high. So, and when you are going to the court, that's why when you are going to the court, even if you are telling your lawyer, yeah, by the time we do this and do that, your lawyer will tell you, calm down. Let us wait for the outcome. So both lawyers would just have prepared themselves because they don't even know how the judge will react. In most of the situations, they don't know. In a lot of the situations, they don't know how the judge will react. Just like it was said, it was reported that at the initial sitting, the judge did not sit. You could have gotten yourself so prepared, and you get there, and they tell you the judge is not sitting today. The judge is also a human being, probably based on some administrative issues. There have been days that I went to court, and they said the judge was attending a conference. There was a particular time I was in court, and the judge said, guys, I've been attending conferences for the past 3 days. I was not supposed to show up today, but I just thought, okay, I have to attend to you guys. But the way I'm looking at it, my health cannot carry it. And the judge got up. I've been in a courtroom before where the judge had started sitting since like 9 a.m. and it was around almost 5 p.m. And the prosecuting counsel, after the matter was called, rose up and said, "My lord, I just managed myself to come to this court. My health can't carry it." But the other lawyer would have prepared himself. And the defendant too would have been like, okay, my lawyer would do this, my lawyer would say that. But the prosecuting counsel rose up and said, "My lord, my health can't carry it today. I am not feeling well." And within the law, it is allowed that if somebody is not feeling well, they are allowed to go and take good care of themselves. So the judge had to adjourn to a later date. And that later date was about, I think, 4 months later, because as at that point, the courts were going on the annual legal vacation. So to a large extent, legal proceedings are unpredictable. Unpredictable, at least as far as Nigeria is concerned. But in Omoyele Showore's case, he's the defendant here. And as a defendant, you are more at risk. This is a criminal matter. It's a criminal matter. If it were a civil matter, uh, probably it's just your lawyer's appearance that is required. As a defendant facing a criminal matter, you must be present. That's why sometimes I listen to somebody like Funke Ashekun whenever she's saying it shows a level of illiteracy in law. Hey, look here, you must be better be ready to appear in court. Better be ready to appear in court. In a matter that is a civil matter. In a matter that is a civil matter, the person doesn't need to appear in court. Only their lawyers are required to appear in court, except the judge requires that they appear in court, or probably there are certain certain steps that will require them being physically in court. In most civil matters, either the defendant or the plaintiff might not really need to appear in court. But a lot of people just think, once a matter is in court, both parties must appear in court. Yes, yeah. It doesn't matter. He's a big man. He has to appear. I watch Funke Ashekun display her illiteracy. Oh, look at you have to appear in court. You must appear in court. And somebody like Bolu is not putting her through that. Madam, only God knows the kind of law that I want to read. Madam, this is a civil matter. It doesn't need to appear in person, So as a defendant in a criminal matter, you are more at risk of losing your liberty, your freedom, if you do not appear. And let me say this before I go further. That while I was being remanded, we used to have this conversation amongst ourselves, the inmates. We have lawyers and amongst us there too at the Ikoyi Correctional Center. There are lawyers there. So the fact that a judge granted you bail is an opportunity for you to go and resolve the matter amicably. Yes, to a large extent. If you can resolve the matter amicably, it makes the job of the court easier. It puts less pressure on the court. Because the reason why the complainant approached the court in the first place is so that there might be peace, so that the matter might be amicably resolved to the satisfaction of the complainant. Because somebody got dissatisfied, and that's the reason why they approached the court in the first place, so that justice might be done, and then the complainant might be at peace. I think this video is getting too long. Let me stop here and continue with part 2. Thank you.